Hi, my name is Helly. Welcome to this safe space for yarn, rest, and soft things. In this tutorial, we are going to make a cup sleeve. All the materials are going to be listed on my website, which is on the description box. So go ahead and click on that link and see all the materials that you're going to need in this video. So the main materials that you're going to be needing is 4-ply yarn and also a 4mm crochet hook. To make the gingham pattern looks nice, I would recommend that you choose one main color for the base. So for mine, it's going to be pink, and then the second color is of course going to be white. For the pink yarn, you will need one light color like this, and then the second needs to be a much darker color to make the gingham pattern. So now we're going to go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So now we're going to get started with a slip knot. So go ahead and hold the end of your yarn and wrap the yarn around your finger and make an X shape like this, and then turn your finger to the front and hold onto your yarn. Now with your crochet hook, go under the first loop and then grab onto the second loop and pull through. So this is going to be your slip knot, and just pull both ends to tighten it up like this. So basically, we'll have to plan out the number of chains that you're going to make. So you can chain it until it can be wrapped around your cup. So if you have any plastic cup laying around your house, you can use that as an example and wrap the chain around, and maybe leave a little bit of space like this, because we're going to use this space as where we are going to tie the bows. And you will have to plan out the gingham pattern before you start. Basically, the total number of chains is divisible by 4, so there is going to be no decimal number when dividing it by 4. So I'm just going to show you an example early on so you are not confused by this. So basically, each colors is going to have 4 stitches. So as you can see here, we have 4 stitches of the white yarn, and then we're going to change our color into the pink yarn. So we have 4 stitches, and then after we have done 4 stitches, we're going to change it again into white, and then again 4 stitches of the pink and 4 stitches of the white. So if you're unsure how many chains you have to make, you can just go ahead and follow my pattern. And make sure that when following my pattern, you are using the same size of crochet hook and also the same size of yarn to make sure that this size is going to be the same, because you don't want it to be too short for the cup sleeve, and also you don't want it to be too long for the cup sleeve. So I'm going to chain 36. So yarn over and pull through to chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, and 36. Now we're going to add 1 turning chain. So chain 1. So this is not going to count as your chain. This is basically just going to be our turning chain. That is going to make it easier for you to insert the first single crochet. So with the white yarn, we're going to make 4 single crochets. So insert your hook into the second chain right here. So skip this chain as this is your turning chain. Insert it right here. So insert your hook into the top loop, and then when you turn your chain to the back, you can see we kind of have like all of these back bumps. You're also going to insert your hook into that. Insert it through the top loop and also the back bump like this. You can see it's going to look like this. Now yarn over and pull through, and then you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops to make the first single crochet. So this is going to be our first single crochet for this round. So we're going to continue making 3 more single crochets. So insert it through the top loop and also the back bump. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So 2, 3, and insert it into the next stitch again through the top loop and the back bump. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we're going to stop right here because we're going to change our color into the pink yarn. So you're going to take your light color of your choice and you're going to make a loop like this. Just hold it like this and then put it on top of your crochet hook. and hold onto this yarn and make sure to hold the end at the back or else it will just slide off from your hook. You're going to slide this pink yarn through both loops right here. So slide through like this and it will look somewhat like this. Now you're going to hold onto these two ends while you crochet, and you're going to crochet over these two ends so that your work won't unravel. So we're going to go through the next stitch. So this is the next stitch right here, as you can see. So go through the top loop and also the back bump, and make sure that the white yarn and also the end of the pink yarn is on top of your crochet hook, because that is how you're going to crochet over the yarn. And then with the pink working yarn, which is basically attached to your yarn ball, so you're just going to yarn over and pull up a loop, then just yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that is basically going to be the second square, which is going to look like this later on. So with the pink yarn, we're also going to make 4 single crochets. So going into the next stitch, make sure that you crochet over these 2 yarns, the white and the end of the pink yarn. So 2, and then go through the next stitch, the top loop and the back bump. So 3 single crochets, and then the next stitch. So now for the last single crochets of the pink yarn, you're going to pull through these 2 loops with the white yarn. So yarn over and pull through. So I'm just going to stop carrying this end. I'm just going to cut it off later. So you're just going to alternate between these 2 colors and make 4 single crochets of each color. And you're going to do it until you reach the end right here. And at the end, you should end with the white yarn. So I'm just going to show you one more time as an example. We're going to make 4 single crochets with the white yarn. So go through the next stitch. And again, make sure to crochet over the yarn that we don't use, because you will have to carry it all along until you reach the end, so that it's easier for you to change color and the back is not going to be messy. So 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be my last single crochet for the white yarn. So before you finish off this last single crochet, go ahead and change your color into the pink yarn. So just yarn over with the pink yarn and pull through like this. And once again, we're going to do pink yarn for this. So we're going to make 4 single crochets with the pink yarn, and make sure to crochet over the white yarn and carry it as you go. So 2 single crochet, and 3 single crochet, and the last single crochet for the pink yarn. Again, for the 4th single crochet, go ahead and change your color into the white yarn. So just yarn over and pull through the 2 loops to change your color. So go ahead and do this until the end right here. So I have 4 stitches left at the end, so I'm going to make my last 4 single crochets with the white yarn. So go ahead and insert your hook into the next stitch right here and make 1 single crochet. So you're going to stop carrying the pink yarn right here, so just left it behind and don't do anything with it, and just continue with 3 more single crochets with the white yarn. So 2, 3, and the last stitch, and 4. So now we're going to move on to round 2. So round 2 and round 3 is going to be the same step. So first, you're going to go ahead and chain 1. Then you're going to turn your work. So I'm going to carry this end as I work over my single crochets, just so that I don't have to weave it in. So this is your chain 1 and this is the first stitch. So go ahead and insert your hook into the first stitch. So I'm just going to put the end on top of my crochet hook and then just insert my hook into the first stitch. So we're going to make 4 single crochets with the white yarn and then change our color into the pink yarn, just as how we did it before. So insert it into the first stitch and make 1 single crochet, and then go through the next stitch, 2 single crochet, 3. I'm just going to stop carrying the white yarn just so that you can see better. So now this is the 4th stitch. So insert it into the 4th stitch and pull up a loop. And before you finish off the last single crochet of this color, go ahead and change your color into the pink yarn. So just yarn over and pull through. So this is going to be the back of your work, because you have this kind of like ants popping out, because the back is going to look a little messy. Now take the white working yarn and put it at the back like this, and make sure that when you carry the yarn that you don't use, you're going to put it at the back, because you want the front to look nice. So insert it through the first stitch here and make 1 single crochet. So it's going to be the same step. You will have to carry the white working yarn or the yarn that you're not using for now, so that it's easy for you to change your color later on. So I'm going to make my 2nd single crochet, 2, 3, and then the 4th single crochet. And again, take your white yarn and change your color. So this is going to be the step until the end, until you reach this white part, and you're going to repeat this until round 3. So this square is going to be made up of 3 rows. So we have 3 rows here, 1 2 3, and then 3 again, 1 2 3, and 1 2 3. So after you have done 3 rows, you're going to change the pattern a little bit. So basically, after you are done with this square, you're going to change from white square here to pink square. So since this round is going to complete 1 row of square, and we need to change from white to pink up here, so we're going to carry this pink yarn until the end. So I'm going to make 4 single crochets while carrying the pink yarn. So 1 2 3, and then for the last single crochet, you're going to change onto the pink yarn. So yarn over and pull through. Now, moving on to round 4, chain 1 and turn your work. So you're going to carry this white yarn for a few stitches, going to help you weave in the excess yarn and make sure that it doesn't unravel. Insert your hook into the first stitch and put the white working yarn on top of your crochet hook and make 1 single crochet. So we're going to make 4 single crochets. 2 3, and then 4. And before you finish off the last single crochet, which is the 4th single crochet, go ahead and select the dark color, then make a loop like this and put it on top of your crochet hook and hold onto all 3 of the yarn, which is white, pink, and the dark pink. Then just pull through the 2 loops and change your color into the dark pink. Then you're just going to continue with 4 single crochets with this dark color, and you will have to carry this and then the pink and also the white yarn. This is just to make sure that it's secure, because if you don't do this, your work will unravel. Okay, so make sure you carry over it. Now 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch, 2 3, and before you finish off the last single crochet, go ahead and change your color into the pink yarn. Now this is the white yarn that is attached to the yarn ball, so I'm just going to cut it off because we are not going to use it for 3 rounds, so you don't have to carry it, and just cut it. So later on, when you do need the white yarn, after you have completed this row of square, you will just attach the yarn, just as how I show you how to attach the dark yarn. Now just bring the dark yarn to the back like this, and you're just going to let it be and just cut it off later on. Then just continue with 4 single crochets with the pink yarn. 1, 2, 3. Then before you finish off the last single crochet, go ahead and change your color into the dark pink. Then continue with 4 single crochets with the dark pink. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then go ahead and change your color to the pink yarn. So you're going to repeat the same step and make 3 rows of this color to complete 1 square. So the steps are basically the same from here. So each square made up of 3 rows, and each squares have 4 single crochets. So you're just going to do this until you reach round 12. So after 4 single crochets, so this is the white part, you will have to change your color into the pink yarn. So these have 4 single crochets here, 4 single crochets here, and after 4 single crochets, change your color again. 4 single crochets, 4 single crochet, and 4 single crochets. So to complete 1 square, you will have to do this for 3 rows. So after 3 rows, you will have to change your color to this part to make the gingham pattern. So you can choose how big you want the cup sleeve to be, but I did mine until round 12, and you will have to make sure that the last pattern that you crochet is going to be the white part. So it's going to look something like this, as you can see, white, white. So I'm going to see you once you are done until round 12 if you're following my pattern, but if you're customizing it, then make sure that you end with the white part as the last pattern. So I'm just going to finish up the white square, and for the pink yarn, I'm just going to take my scissors and you're just going to cut it off. Now we're going to make 1 single crochet all around to make these squares look cleaner. So first, you're going to chain 1. So to know where you're going to insert your stitches, you can see we can have like a line. This line here, this line, this line, this line, this line, this line, here, 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 here. You're going to use that as your guide as to where you're going to insert your single crochets. That is basically your rows. You're going to insert 1 single crochet in each row. So this is going to be the first row. We're going to insert the first single crochet. So go ahead and insert your hook into that stitch and make 1 single crochet right here. So go ahead and set your stitch marker, and I'm going to mark the first stitch just so that I know where the first stitch is. Now go into the next space here, and you're going to insert 1 single crochet. So you're going to do this all the way down until you reach here. So this part is really easy because you're just going to insert it at anywhere you find space. You can see each rows have this little hole, so that is where you're going to insert your single crochets. Now we're going to continue inserting 1 single crochet down here. So you can see that we have kind of like this lines. That is where you're going to insert your stitches. Go ahead and insert your hook into this stitch right here. So with this part of your crochet hook, you're going to grab it and make 1 single crochet like this. So you're just going to do this all the way down until you reach the last stitch right here. Now we're just going to continue inserting 1 single crochet at the side. So go into this space right here, and again you're just going to use the lines as your guide. So just repeat this step until you reach the top part, which is right here. So once you reach this part, we're going to insert 1 single crochet at the top until the end right here, because we are going to make a fake single crochet to blend it all. Go ahead and insert your hook into this stitch right here and make 1 single crochet and continue inserting it in each stitch So you're going to stop until you are left with 1 stitch at the end, like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and cut your yarn and pull through. Now take your darning needle and thread in your yarn. And go ahead and remove the stitch marker. Now from the back, you're going to insert your needle and yarn through that stitch, like this, and pull through. Then go through the middle of the stitch right here and just adjust the stitch a little bit so it looks the same as the rest. Now go through that fake stitch and pull through, and then go through this stitch right here and pull through. Now turn your work to the back, and we're going to weave in this excess yarn and just go through the back of the stitches. Then just pull through and skip this 1 stitch right here and go through the stitches again just to make sure that it's really secure, and pull. Now take your scissors and cut your yarn. Now I have this ends at the back. I'm just going to cut all of it, and the back should look like this, and this is going to be the front. So we have these flowers and 1 butterfly here. So I just reused the same pattern from my old videos for my tissue holders, so you can find it there. I linked the video here, and I also put the link in the description box for you to make it. And I also sew on some stars like this with a fluffy yarn. So once you are done making the flowers and the butterfly, all you need to do is just glue it on. So now we're going to move on and make this strap. So we are going to start with a slip knot. So go ahead and make your slip knot just as how I teach you how to do it. Now we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to insert 4 single crochets. So skip this 1 stitch right here because this is your turning chain. So insert it into the next stitch. Again, you will have to insert it through the top loop and the back bum. Just the same step as before. So 1, 2, 3, and the last single crochet, 4. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So I'm going to carry my end as of my single crochet. So from here until the end, it's going to be the same step. So you will just insert 1 single crochet until the end, basically making 4 single crochets. So carry the end by putting the end on top of your crochet hook and go through the first stitch and make 1 single crochet, 1, and into the next, 2. I'm just going to carry the end until 3 stitches, and then I'm just going to cut it off and go through the 4th stitch and make 1 single crochet. Once again, the same step, chain 1 and turn your work, and then we're going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch. So insert it into the first stitch and make 1 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you're going to repeat this step until your strap reaches 33 cm. So it's going to be this long, and then later on we're going to sew it onto the cup sleeve. So if you want it longer, you can, and if you want it shorter, you also can. So it's totally customizable. So I'm going to see you once you're done. So I did mine until 33 cm. So we're going to do the same step as before, which is inserting 1 single crochet all around. And as you can see, I already sew on the stars. So first, you're going to chain 1. Then go ahead and insert it into the first row right here and make 1 single crochet. So this is going to be the same step as before. You're going to insert 1 single crochet in each rows or wherever you find space all around until the end right here. Then you're going to do 4 single crochets. So this is the first stitch, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then continue 1 single crochet at the sides until you reach the top and make 3 single crochets, leaving this 1 stitch right here. Now go ahead and take your scissors and cut your yarn and leave a long end because we're going to use this for sewing. Now just pull through and we're going to make a fake slip stitch right here. So insert your hook into this stitch right here, which is the first stitch that we insert at the side. So from the back, just insert it and pull and insert it through the middle of the stitch, which is your last stitch for this round. And just adjust the stitch a little bit so that it looks the same as the rest. And insert it through the fake stitch and pull through. And insert it again into the last stitch of this round. And once again, insert it through the fake stitch. So this is just so that it's secure. Now we're going to sew it onto the cup sleeve. So the part where I have my end is going to be the back for the strap. So I'm just going to turn this around and make sure that the front is facing you like this. Now you're going to put the strap at the back side. So you're going to sew it onto the second white square from your left. This is the square that you're going to sew it onto. And you're just going to go ahead and insert it right here and pull. So you're just going to sew it onto the white square because you don't want it to be visible, and just insert it right like this and pull through. So there is no right or wrong on how you're sewing it because there's just so many ways of sewing, but this is just how I do it. I'm just going to go through the stitches first, which is the V's at the top. Then I'm going to go through this upper stitch and I'm going to go through the V stitch at the top like this, just to make sure that things are really secure because you want the cup sleeve to be able to support your string. So I'm just going to sew this second row onto this V's at the top. So I'm going to go through this one more time. I'm going to do it for 2 times because I really want things to be really secure. Now bring the yarn to the back and you're going to weave in this excess yarn. Just go through the back stitch and pull. Now take your scissors and cut your yarn. You're going to sew on the other side and you're going to place it onto the second square from your right. And again, make sure that the front is facing you and put the strap at the back. I'm going to use a new yarn for this. It's going to be the same step, just how you start is going to be a little different. So first thing first, you're going to go through the first stitch at the corner right here and pull through. And you're going to leave a little end like this because you're going to use that to secure it all up. So first, go through the first row like this and pull through. And then go through the side and insert it into the second V and pull through. Now just continue sewing. The step is going to be the same as the other side. And you're just going to weave in this excess yarn, just like before. Skip this one stitch here and go through the other stitches at the back. Then just cut your yarn. Now we have this other end and it is going to be the same step, just weave in this excess yarn at the back. So this is how it's going to look. So I already have my flowers and my butterflies. You're just going to glue it onto the cup sleeve like this. So now I'm going to show you how to put on the ribbons at the side. So first, you're just going to cut a long ribbon because you will need a lot. And then you're just going to insert at the bottom stitches and it's going to look like this. Then taking your crochet hook, you're just going to eyeball it and we're going to make 2 X's. So I do have like some done here because I did try it out mine because I need to see how many X's do I have to make in order to make the ribbons look nice. So you're just going to eyeball yours. So insert your hook from the back of the stitch and you're going to bring your ribbon to the back like this and pull. Take the left side and insert your hook from the back and just pull your ribbon and pull again. So this is going to be the first X. Now from the front, you're going to take this right side of the ribbon and you're going to bring it to the front and pull. Now take this other ribbon and just insert it. Now take the right side of the ribbon and go through the top stitch here like this and bring the ribbon to the back. And do the same thing for the other side. So go through the top stitch and bring the ribbon to the back. So it's going to look like this. Now we're just going to tie a ribbon with this. So make a knot and make a ribbon like this. So you will have to adjust it to your cup sleeve. I don't have the cup with me right now to go to the cafe in order to get the cup. So just put your cup sleeve and adjust it and tie your ribbon and you are done. So thank you for watching and I'll see you again with the next tutorial. Bye!